Some people walk into a room and instantly light it up. Others, well, the light only seems to return after they leave. This isn't about bitterness or blame. It's about hard-earned clarity. If you've lived and learned, you know that not every smile is sincere, and not every hand offered is meant to lift you up. Life is too short to waste your precious time, energy, and peace on those who drain you, confuse you, or make you question yourself. Especially those hiding behind charm, beauty, or a polished facade. In today's video, we'll uncover 7 clear signs that a toxic woman might be silently eroding your peace and well-being. This isn't about judging, it's about gaining wisdom and clarity. It's about knowing who truly deserves your time and who doesn't. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. I'd add, it also depends on the company you keep. If you want to protect your peace and live with clarity, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Buddhist Wisdom Daily. Let's dive in and sharpen that clarity together. First, she's always the victim. One of the most subtle and yet most exhausting signs of a toxic woman is the one who wears the victim role like a second skin. It's not just about occasionally sharing tough experiences or hardships. It's a constant, never-ending story where she is always wronged, hurt, or betrayed. No matter the situation, no matter the person involved, ex-partners, friends, co-workers, family, even strangers, someone else is always to blame. She is never the one at fault. The script never changes, and it always casts her as the innocent party in a world full of enemies. I remember a man named Tom. After his divorce, he met a woman who seemed genuine, open, and vulnerable. At first, Tom admired her honesty as she shared her life story, the betrayals, the injustices. She told him how manipulative her bosses had been, how unfair her family treated her, how every friendship ended in betrayal. These stories painted a picture of a life filled with struggle, but also of someone who had survived it all. It was easy for Tom to feel protective, to believe she just needed kindness and understanding. But as months went by,
Tom noticed something troubling. The stories never stopped, and they always followed the same pattern. Everyone else was the villain, except her. Whenever Tom gently questioned her version of events or asked if maybe she could have contributed to a problem, he quickly found himself cast in a different role, that of the enemy. She twisted reality to keep herself the victim, never acknowledging her own role or mistakes. Slowly, Tom was trapped in a drama where he was either the hero saving her or the villain attacking her. There was no middle ground. This kind of victim mentality isn't just about past wounds or unfair circumstances. It's about control. It's a way to manipulate others into carrying the emotional burden she refuses to bear herself, and it drains the people around her, sapping patience, energy, and peace of mind. Here's where Stoicism offers invaluable insight. Stoic philosophy reminds us that the only thing truly within our control is our own mind and reactions, not other people or outside events. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But a woman who clings to the victim role willingly gives away her power and tries to make others carry the weight of her pain and chaos. So, what should you do if you find yourself entangled in this exhausting cycle? First, recognize the pattern for what it is. Don't fall into the trap of being her rescuer, the person who's always trying to fix, defend, or justify her story. Compassion is important, but it cannot come at the cost of your own boundaries or peace. You cannot heal someone who refuses to take responsibility for her own life and choices. If the stories never change, if the victim role is the only identity she embraces, then it's time to step back, quietly but firmly. Your peace of mind is not something to sacrifice for endless drama. Protect it. You are responsible for your own well-being first and foremost. Remember, wisdom lies in knowing when to stand firm and when to walk away, not out of bitterness or anger, but out of respect for your own mind and life. Second, she's addicted to drama. This woman doesn't just face emotional ups and downs like anyone else. No, for her, life is an endless performance of chaos, conflict, and emotional storms. Calmness, stability, those things bore her. She craves turbulence. If the world around her becomes too peaceful or predictable, she will stir the pot, ignite fires, or create conflicts just to feel alive again. Drama addicts often start with small sparks. Maybe a text she thought you ignored, or a simple misunderstanding blown out of proportion. But what begins as a tiny spark soon explodes into exhausting battles. You find yourself apologizing for things you didn't even know were problems, trying to soothe tempers you don't understand. All the while, she seems energized, even fueled by the emotional chaos swirling around her. Why does she do this? From a Stoic perspective, the reason is surprisingly straightforward. She seeks control through emotional stimulation. The turmoil gives her a sense of power. Seneca once said, "An angry man opens his mouth and shuts his eyes." In other words, anger, and by extension drama, blinds reason. The drama-addicted woman isn't interested in resolution or truth. She's addicted to the feeling of power that comes from stirring emotions, whether it's her own rage or your anxiety. If you're caught in her web, this dynamic slowly chips away at your peace and your sense of self. You become reactive, anxious, constantly on edge, walking on eggshells. You brace yourself for the next storm, never sure what will set it off. Instead of being calm and steady, you become a shadow of your true self, always anticipating conflict. Stoicism teaches us a crucial lesson here. We cannot control others, only how we respond to them. Epictetus reminds us, we can't control others, we can only control how we respond. So, what is the wisest response to someone addicted to drama? Distance. Not necessarily physical distance, though sometimes that helps, but emotional distance, first and foremost. Step back. Observe the chaos without diving into it. Don't get swept up in the waves she creates. Protect your inner calm like a precious sanctuary. When you refuse to engage in the emotional storms, you take back your power and preserve your peace. Drama addicts live for the thrill of upheaval, but you don't have to be their stage or their audience. Choose serenity over chaos. Choose reason over impulse. This is the path of a Stoic. Third, she controls through guilt. Guilt is a quiet, invisible weapon, but one of the most powerful psychological traps you can fall into. It's not just a feeling, it's like a shadow that creeps into your mind, weighing down your heart, triggering the same pain, centers in your brain as physical injury. Some women wield guilt like a master puppeteer, pulling strings so skillfully you barely notice, until you find yourself tangled in their web, doubting your own choices and sacrificing your needs without a fight. At first, it seems innocent enough. Maybe she's just disappointed when you prioritize work, personal growth, or a moment alone. But it's not that simple. It's the heavy sigh when you cancel plans, the silence that fills the room when you don't give her the attention she expects. It's that look, so subtle yet so cutting, that screams, "I thought you cared more." And here's the trap. She rarely says a word. The guilt is unspoken, but it's deafening. Before long, you're living in a prison of shoulds and could-have-beens. You rearrange your world, constantly adjusting your actions to dodge the pain of that guilt. You explain yourself endlessly, trying to meet invisible expectations that shift like sand beneath your feet. And the worst part? You don't even realize you're losing yourself, bit by bit, moment by moment. This isn't love or care. It's control dressed up as sensitivity. Guilt becomes currency, and the debt only grows. The more you pay, the more she demands. You're trapped in a game where you're always the bad guy, no matter how hard you try. It's exhausting. It chips away at your confidence, your peace, your sense of freedom. Stoicism lights the way out of this maze. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When guilt is your guide, you surrender your freedom to someone else's emotional blackmail. But freedom isn't given. It's taken, held firm, fiercely protected. Here's the truth. You don't have to argue with guilt. You don't have to justify or fight it. The real power lies in setting boundaries that honor your values and your inner voice. When guilt tries to creep in, meet it with calm strength. Stand your ground with quiet certainty. True freedom is a fortress no guilt can breach unless you open the gate yourself. Guard your peace, live your truth, choose your own path, and in doing so, you break the chains of manipulation and reclaim your life. Fourth, she lacks empathy. Life has a way of testing us, doesn't it? The hard moments, the loss, the illness, the setbacks, these times reveal who truly stands by us and who quietly slips away. A woman who lacks empathy may show up in body, but her heart is miles away. She might be there in appearance, but not in spirit. And that kind of presence can feel lonelier than being completely alone. The signs often start small. You share something difficult, something raw and real, hoping for a little understanding. Instead, she brushes past your struggles like they're just a passing breeze. The conversation quickly shifts back to her day, her problems, her concerns. Maybe she offers a quick, "I'm sorry," or a shallow reassurance that feels more like a scripted line than genuine comfort. I remember a friend of mine who lost his wife. At first, the woman he dated seemed supportive. She said the right things, smiled at the right moments. But as his grief deepened, her patience wore thin. She grew restless, uncomfortable with his sadness. Instead of sitting with him in silence or simply holding space for his pain, she changed the subject, looking for ways to escape the heaviness. In those moments, he felt more alone with her than he had felt on his own. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." And I would add, waste no more time hoping someone will become something they are not. Empathy isn't a skill you can teach or a feeling you can force. It's either present in someone's heart or it isn't. When empathy is missing, you feel it deep down, an ache, a distance, a hollow space that no words can fill. If you catch yourself making excuses for her absence in your darkest hours, telling yourself she's just busy, she's stressed, she's overwhelmed, it's time to pause and listen to that feeling. Stoicism teaches acceptance, not acceptance of what we wish for, but acceptance of what truly is. If empathy doesn't show up now, when life is hard, it won't suddenly appear when storms grow worse. The wisest choice you can make for yourself is to walk away, not with bitterness or anger, but with clear eyes and a calm heart. Because life is too short to be with someone who hears your words, but never truly listens with her heart. Fifth, she's obsessed with superficial things. At first glance, this might sound harmless. After all, who doesn't enjoy nice things? A beautiful dress? A sleek car? A stylish home? These are pleasures many people appreciate. But when a woman becomes obsessed with appearances, status, and material wealth, it reveals something far deeper, a hollow place inside that can never be filled by possessions or applause. This kind of obsession is dangerous because it's a never-ending race with no finish line. You might find yourself trapped in a competition you never agreed to join, whether it's about how much money you make, the brand of car you drive, or how many likes she gets on social media.
No matter how much you achieve, how much you give, it's never enough. There's always a higher rung to climb, a bigger trophy to chase. This endless chase drains your energy, your dignity, and your soul. The Stoics warned us about this kind of thinking over 2,000 years ago. Epictetus said simply, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." It's not about what you have, it's about how much you need. Marcus Aurelius referred to external things as things indifferent, meaning they neither add nor subtract from who you truly are. Your character, your virtues, your values, that is what defines you. Shiny things and social status, they're fleeting illusions. Seneca made this clear. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. And this woman, consumed by superficial desires, is the poorest companion you could have. She is never content, never at peace, and will drag you down into the same restless cycle of dissatisfaction. If you're with someone like this, you risk losing yourself. chasing shadows that vanish the moment you try to grasp them. Your peace will slip through your fingers like sand. The solution is simple, but not always easy. Walk away, not with bitterness, but with wisdom. Guard your peace above all else. Protect your mind and heart from the exhausting game of endless wants. Because true wealth, true contentment, comes not from outward things, but from the calm certainty of inner virtue. Sixth, she can't admit she's wrong. This one sneaks in quietly at first. The small disagreements that suddenly explode into something much bigger than they should be. She refuses, no matter what, to admit she's wrong. Even when the facts stare her in the face, she twists the story, flips the script, or attacks your character instead. The original issue gets buried under a storm of deflection and emotional drama. At first, you might chalk it up to pride or a rough day. Everyone has those moments, right? But then the pattern emerges, clear and painful. To her, being wrong isn't just a mistake, it's weakness. And weakness is unacceptable, a threat to her very identity. So she fights relentlessly to protect that fragile self-image, no matter what it costs. And what does that cost? It's the slow death of trust, connection, and growth. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic, showed the path of true wisdom when he said, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake, or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I seek." That kind of humility is the foundation of love and real partnership. Without it, relationships become battles for dominance, not spaces for understanding. You end up carrying the weight of reason all alone, worn down by exhaustion and loneliness. Her refusal to admit fault builds walls, not just between you two, but between her and the very possibility of love, growth, and healing. For a Stoic man, clarity is a lifeline. You must choose humility and truth in your own heart, and you must expect it from your partner. Not perfection, but the brave willingness to say, "I was wrong." If she can't say those words, it's a clear sign. It's time to walk away, not with anger or resentment, but with a calm respect for your own peace and wisdom. Because a relationship without humility isn't a partnership, it's a battlefield. And life is too precious to spend it fighting alone. Seventh, she disrespects your time. Time is the most precious currency we have. And unlike money or health, once it's gone forever. You can earn back money, you can recover health to some extent, but lost time? That never returns. So when a woman disrespects your time, she's not just careless with minutes. She's careless with your peace of mind, your energy, and ultimately your life itself. I want to tell you about Richard, a man I once knew. He was a self-made success, sharp, disciplined, and respected. When he met Elise, she seemed charming and full of warmth. But charm can be a mask. Elise was chronically late. 20 minutes, then 40. She canceled plans last minute, forgot commitments, and seemed indifferent to how her actions affected Richard. At first, he brushed it off, thinking maybe life just got busy. Weeks turned into months. Richard found himself alone, waiting in restaurants, shifting his work schedule, missing time with friends, all rearranged around Elise's unpredictability. She simply didn't value his time because she didn't truly value him. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." This is a powerful reminder. Respect your time as fiercely as you respect your life itself. A woman who honors you will honor your time. She shows up when she says she will, keeps her promises, and treats every minute you share as something sacred. Epictetus posed a question that cuts to the heart of the matter. How long will you wait before you demand the best for yourself? Richard finally stopped waiting, and so should you. Time wasted is life wasted. Don't spend your precious moments with someone who treats them carelessly. Surround yourself with those who cherish your presence, respect your commitments, and value the time you give. Because at the end of the day, your time is your life. Guard it with all your strength. As we've seen today, some people light up a room simply by being there, while others dim the light, often without us even noticing at first. It's not about blaming or bitterness, but about gaining the clarity that comes from experience and wisdom. Life is too precious, too fleeting, to waste on those who drain your energy, cloud your peace, or make you doubt your own worth. Remember Marcus Aurelius' powerful reminder: the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. But I'll add this: your happiness also depends on the company you keep. Choose wisely. If any part of today's message resonated with you, if you feel called to protect your peace and live with more clarity, then don't stop here. Your journey toward wisdom and calm is just beginning. I invite you to explore more videos on Buddhist Wisdom Daily, where we dive deep into self-mastery, inner peace, and the timeless teachings that can transform your life. Hit the like button if this video touched your heart. Subscribe to join our growing community and ring the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to grow with us. Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. We're all walking this path together. Thank you for being here, for investing your time in your growth. May you walk forward with strength, clarity, and peace. I'll see you in the next video.